1947. Midnight. India awakes to a new life of freedom. But 2 centuries of colonial rule had decayed India from within, leaving the country ridden with poverty and hunger. Our founding fathers set out to wipe every tear from every eye. They needed a pole star, that single focal point to make India modern and progressive. Something that captured the uniqueness of the chaotic but eternally hopeful nation. A bright light to illuminate the dark storm lashing the horizon of the...
I wish you all a very great morning full of patriotism. Respected Koshi ma'am, Principal ma'am, teachers and my dear Chaitanyans. As we celebrate the 74th Independence Day, I take pride to announce that we, the students of Class 12, Political Science, have the pleasure and honor to present a short movie to you.
Why 1947? In Feb 1947, Lord Mountbatten was appointed as the last Viceroy of India to oversee the transfer of power. The plan initially was to transfer power from Britain to India by June 1948. But there were conflicts between Jinnah and Nehru on the matter of partition, and they could not come to any consensus. Also, Jinnah's demand for a separate nation had instigated large-scale communal disturbances across India. Hence, this forced him to prepone the date of independence by almost a year. Why the 15th of August? Lord Mountbatten had personally decided the date of August 15th because he had considered that date to be very lucky for his career. During the World War II, it was August 15, 1945 that the Japanese army had surrendered before the Allied forces, of which Lord Mountbatten was the commander. Why midnight? 15th August 1947 was an unfortunate and unholy date according to astrological calculations. But Lord Mountbatten was adamant on August 15th. Thus, astrologers suggested the midnight hour between August 14th and 15th due to the simple reason that the day according to the English starts at 12 am, but according to the Hindu calendar starts at sunrise. And folks, this is how a great country attained independence on the 15th of August 1947.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not only or in full measure, but very
long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny as the foundation of independence laid on many years of struggle. 73 years post its independence, India has made its own mark in almost every field. For a country with huge landmass and diversity in culture, it was not easy to achieve progress. We definitely pay homage to not just our freedom fighters, but also our national leaders who from the very beginning sowed the seeds of oneness and emphasized unity as the major strength India has.
India's first war of independence, termed Sepoy Riots by the British, was an attempt to unite India against the invading British. From its foundation on 28th December 1885 by A.O. Hume, a retired British officer, until the time India gained its independence on 15th August 1947, the Indian National Congress was considered to be the largest and most prominent Indian public organization, as well as the central and defining influence of the long Indian independence movement. The first partition of Bengal was a territorial reorganization of the Bengal Presidency implemented by the authorities of the British Raj in 1905. The partition separated the largely Muslim eastern areas from the largely Hindu western areas, as announced by Lord Curzon, the then Viceroy of India. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was an Indian lawyer, anti-colonial nationalist and political ethicist who employed non-violent resistance to lead the successful campaign for India's independence from British rule, and in turn inspired movements for civil rights and freedom across the world. The tragic Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place on April 13, 1919. This event, in which Brigadier Dyer ordered indiscriminate firing at a crowd, including women and children, Killing hundreds of them caused much resentment and anger among the people and led to the non-cooperation movement. The Khilafat movement was an agitation by Indian Muslims allied with Indian nationalism in the years following World War I. Its purpose was to pressure the British government to preserve the authority of the Ottoman Sultan as Caliph of Islam, following the breakup of the Ottoman Empire at the end of the war. On April 8, 1929, Bhagat Singh, along with freedom fighter Batukeshwar Dutt, hurled two bombs inside the Central Legislative Assembly in New Delhi to protest against an unfavorable bill. The Salt March, which took place from March to April 1930 in India, was an act of civil disobedience led by Mohandas Gandhi to protest British rule in India. During the march, thousands of Indians followed Gandhi from his religious retreat near Ahmedabad to the Arabian Sea coast, a distance of some 240 miles. Azad Hind Fauj, the army organization, was founded by Mohan Singh and comprised Indian prisoners of war in Singapore. Azad Hind Fauj was another name of Bose Indian National Army, which was inspired by the concepts of Netaji, who planned to take foreign help to get rid of the country of British reign. The Quit India movement was a movement started by Mahatma Gandhi on 8 August 1942 during the World War II, asking for an end to British rule in India. The movement was started in a speech in Bombay where Mahatma Gandhi asked Indians to do or die. The British refused to grant independence until the war ended. Thank you.
The Britishers tried hard to divide and rule India. They even commented and criticized India at various stances. However, they could not move India from its determination.
Just after rebirth, we executed the world's largest merger and acquisition activity when 560 small princely states joined into the Union of India. India is the only nation in the world which gave every adult the right to vote from its first day of independence. India designed and built Asia's first nuclear reactor named Apsara Nuclear Reactor on August 4, 1956. The railway networks in India was nationalized in the year 1951 and Indian Railways became one of the largest railway networks.
It has been 73 years since we got independence, and ever since, India's road to being a developed nation is suddenly one for the books. As the patriotism filled the air on this day, let's take a look at many milestones we have achieved along the way. And of course, we still have a long way to go. But here is a refresher on just how much our great nation has accomplished together over the years. Let's start with the most recent one. Chandrayaan 2 is an Indian lunar mission that boldly went where no country has ever gone before, the moon's south pole region. What makes Chandrayaan 2 special? It is the first space mission to conduct a soft landing on the moon's south pole region. It is the first Indian expansion to attempt a soft landing on the lunar surface, and with a homegrown technology. It is the fourth country ever to soft land on the lunar surface. India's last polio case was reported in West Bengal in January 2011 when a young girl was paralyzed by polio. Since then, no other such case has been reported. In March 2014, World Health Organization certified the Southeast Asian region, which includes India, a polio-free region. WHO presented official certification to India for its polio-free status. A country with such a large population defeating polio is no mean feat, and that is a commendable victory which we should all be proud of. November 5th, 2013 was marked as one of the most significant days in Indian history. With the lift of Mars Orbiter mission spacecraft, India's first interplanetary mission was executed. Mangalyaan entered Mars orbit on September 24, 2014, making India the first Asian country and only the fourth country in the world to enter the Mars orbit in its first attempt. Mars Orbiter mission objective is to collect data from the red planet and also showcase India's rocket launch system, spacecraft building and operation capabilities. The Western Ghats are considered as one of the 8 hottest hotspots of biological diversity in the world. India applied to UNESCO to include Western Ghats in the World Heritage Site list in 2006 and be happy as it gained this status in 2012.
One of the major achievements of the decade was the approval of RTE, which is Right to Education Bill by the Cabinet of July 2, 2009. Later on, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha passed the bill on July 20th and August 4, 2009. It has been finally received the President's assent and was notified as a law on August 26, 2009. It is then in the first time in the history of India that a law was brought into force by a speech by the Prime Minister. ISRO demonstrated its capability by handling complex missions by successfully launching a record 104 satellites on a single rocket. This is the highest number of satellites ever launched in a single mission by any other country in the world. BrahMos is the world's fastest and most formidable anti-ship cruise missile. This marks of a big achievement and breakthrough for the supersonic missile, as this is the first time in the country has developed a seeker for a missile of this caliber and class.
No one can forget the disastrous Bengal famine in 1943, where millions of Indians died due to shortage of food, and the fear of that made Indian government to start green revolution in India in early 1960s and became a self-sufficient food grains country, and in 2013 Indian Parliament passed a National Food Security Act, Right to Food Act, which is definitely a great step towards eradicating food shortages. Our Indian film industry has also made us proud when SAS Rajamouli's Bahubali The Beginning received Guinness World Book record for making the largest poster for more than 50,000 square feet. The poster has an area of 4,793.65 meters and was achieved by Global United Media Company Private Limited in Kochi in India on 27th June 2015. So before ending the video, I want to say listing down all the achievements of India at one go is impossible. I hope you all learned something new and felt proud of our great nation. Let's be a better citizen and repay our nation what it deserves. Thank you. Jai Hind.
So let us take a pledge that we will carry on the struggle till we make our country free of all the ills of corruption, backwardness, narrow-mindedness, poverty and communalism. Let us all be responsible citizens of our great country and serve it with our grand deeds and actions. Jai Hind.
छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। आज पुरानी जंजीरों को तोड़ चुके हैं, क्या देखे उस मंजिल को जो छोड़ चुके हैं। चांद के दर पे जा पहुंचा है आज जमाना, नए जगत से हम भी नाता जोड़ चुके हैं। नया खून है, नई उमंग है, अब है नई जवानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। आओ मेहनत को अपना ईमान बनाए, अपने हाथों को अपना भगवान बनाए। राम की इस धरती को, गौतम की भूमि को, सपनों से भी प्यारा हिंदुस्तान बनाए। नया खून है, नई उमंग है, अब है नई जवानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी। नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी।